It all happened one cold autumn evening, and even a year later, the memory still sends chills down the spine. Ethan was preparing for his final exams, and he was nowhere near ready. The pressure was suffocating. Normally, the Oakridge Academy library closed at 5, but with exams approaching, the school decided to keep it open until midnight. It sounded like a blessing. Living just a few blocks away, Ethan preferred studying in the quiet calm of the library instead of at home. That evening, he left his apartment at 6, backpack heavy with books and notes. The library was unusually quiet, the kind of quiet that pressed against your ears and made your own heartbeats sound deafening. Hours slipped by unnoticed as he worked, until he finally glanced at the clock. 10 p.m. 10 p.m. Ethan had never stayed in the library this late. Normally, a few students lingered, flipping pages, murmuring quiet libet. Tonight, it was deathly silent. He had only a few pages left to finish when he heard it. The sound of slow, deliberate limping. His heart skipped a beat. He froze. The sound echoed faintly against the library walls, slow and uneven. Books shuffled somewhere in the distance, and then a low, sorrowful sigh, barely audible. Ethan's stomach twisted. He hastily packed his notes, telling himself it was probably just his imagination, but the feeling of being watched didn't leave. He stepped out into the long corridor leading to the library exit. The hallway stretched endlessly, dimly lit, familiar yet sinister in the dead silence. Normally, the corridor hummed with activity, students walking back and forth, lockers slamming, but tonight, it felt abandoned. At the far end of the corridor, a figure stood perfectly still. Ethan didn't recognize her. As he got closer, unease grew like ice down his spine. The silhouette seemed wrong, twisted, unnatural. "Who's there?" he whispered, his voice barely audible. In an instant, she was gone. Just vanished. Ethan exhaled shakily, trying to shake off the terror. He pushed forward, reaching the exit, and stepped into the empty streets of Oakridge Avenue. The street should have been alive. Even at night, cars passing, people walking home, distant laughter, but it wasn't. The street was dead. The silence was suffocating. Ethan kept his eyes on the cracked pavement, trying not to notice the shadows stretching unnaturally under the streetlights, and then he saw it. A shadow stretching toward him. When he looked up, she was there, the same woman, limping slowly in his direction. Her clothes were filthy, torn, and ragged. Her hands and feet twisted at unnatural angles. Her hair hung in matted tangles, partially covering her face. She moved painfully, slowly, but there was something in her gaze that made Ethan's stomach drop. Frozen, Ethan couldn't move. His mind screamed at him to run, to escape, but his legs wouldn't obey. She spoke, her voice rasping like dry leaves scraping across a gravestone. "Have you seen her?" "My little one, my daughter." Ethan's throat went dry. He couldn't answer. His mind was blank, paralyzed by fear, desperate. He pointed shakily down the street, hoping she would go away. Slowly, almost reluctantly, she limped in the direction he indicated, fading into the darkness. Finally, Ethan bulked. Panic consumed him. His only thought was to find help anyone. he barely registered the scream that followed him, echoing from somewhere far behind. She's here. She's here. The next thing he remembered was waking up on the doorstep of his neighbor, Mr. Holloway, who said he had found Ethan collapsed in the street. His body ached, his mind was hazy, and his terror hadn't faded. Later, he discovered the truth. In 1997, a woman named Margot lived in Westbridge. She had a 10-year-old daughter who attended Oakridge Academy. One tragic day, her daughter died in a playground accident. Margot could not bear the loss. Overcome with grief, she disappeared, vanishing without a trace. Since then, people have reported seeing Margot's spirit wandering near Oakridge Academy, limping slowly, her gaze searching endlessly for her lost child. She is said to appear on quiet streets late at night, wandering, desperate, and full of sorrow that Ethan had come face to face with her. He had been lucky to escape, but even now, he sometimes feels a shadow at the edge of his vision, a soft whisper in the wind calling out for a little girl who never returned. Eerie music intensifies if you ever walk near Oakridge Academy at night. Remember, some spirits don't rest, and some grief never ends. Music fades, leaving only silence.